Mwenyekiti na wabunge wa Uganda, habari za mchana. Bon après-midi. Good afternoon. Our Speaker, I'm proceeding under Article 137 of the Treaty for the East African Community, which states that Kiswahili shall be developed as the lingua franca of the community. Under Article 8.2 of the Protocol of the Kiswahili Commission, the East African Community encourages the use of Kiswahili in the conduct of official business and public life within the region. I would like to inform you that in order to promote Kiswahili for regional integration and sustainable development, the Council of Ministers urged the heads of state to consider amending Article 137.2 of the treaty to make Kiswahili the second official language of the community. On 26 August 2016, the East African Legislative Assembly passed a resolution urging the summit to consider amendment of Article 137.2 of the treaty to consider making Swahili the official language, second official language of the community. Therefore, the 21st summit of the heads of state held on February 27, 2021, Swahili was adopted as an official language of the community. This therefore warrants the implementation of the directive in Uganda to adopt Swahili as an official language. You're of course aware that it is in our constitution, but has not effectively been implemented. As you're aware, Article 8 of the treaty mandates the ministry responsible for East Africa to coordinate and act as a focal point on all East African community matters. Given that mandate, in that regard, adopting Swahili as an official language, my ministry leads to regular strategic engagements to ensure the full implementation. We have identified the following stakeholders: the Cabinet, the Parliament of Uganda, the Ministry of Education and Sports, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, academic institutions, and the media, among others. In order to implement the directive, we have the following objectives. One, to empower the business community of Uganda in using Kiswahili by partnering with the private sector organizations, to inculcate Kiswahili in government procedures through Kiswahili focal points in all arms of government. Three, to coordinate promotion of use of Kiswahili by non-state actors such as faith-based organizations, cultural institutions, among the general citizenry. The Council of Ministers directed the Swahili Commission to develop programs and manuals for Swahili teaching and training in the partner states. The programs and manuals are therefore part of the Swahili development tools to help the partner states develop the language and popularize its usage in the EAC integration activities. Due to resource constraints, the East African Kiswahili Commission prioritized the Parliament of Uganda, the media, and the education sector as key entry points. I'm happy to inform the honourable members that at least at a number of the borders, there's now a minimum amount of teaching of Swahili in the schools. So Parliament was selected for the following reasons. It has a critical role as an entry point in ensuring that Swahili becomes an official language. Two, it has the potential of contributing to both national and regional integration, as well as sustainable development. We need Parliament to support the National Swahili Council to be established in this country. We shall need necessary policy, human and financial support for this. We shall need the legislative, budgetary and oversight roles of Parliament to support the promotion and development of Swahili, not only as an official language, but also as a lingua franca, as already mentioned. The key stakeholders have already been mentioned. The 16th Sectoral Council of Ministers responsible for education adopted the training program and the manuals, and they forwarded the Clerk of Parliament for implementation. So we are going to focus first on the members of Parliament the Parliamentary Forum on Swahili, I hope it is there, the staff of Parliament, and the Uganda Parliamentary Press Association. The Ministry of Education and Sports coordinates the secondary schools' essay writing competition. The concept was conceived as a wider essay approach to create awareness among the school-going population about the integration process and activities. It gives secondary school students an opportunity to analyze from their own perspective the benefits, opportunities, and constraints of regional integration of East Africa. The students are expected to write the essays either in English, in Swahili, or in French, on a topic presented to them annually and focused on contemporary issues in the ESC. The regional awards for the ceremony, which took place just before the COVID-19 pandemic, we had one girl student from Uganda Girls Secondary School, Nafura Fortunate Mugeni, who was the second best in the entire community. She wrote an essay in Kiswahili. She was given an award in July by the heads of state during the 22nd Ordinary Summit in Arusha. On that success story, and guided by Article 120 of the treaty, we are coordinating a program to establish EAC clubs in secondary schools. The clubs promote usage of Kiswahili among students and participation in the essay competition. We're in the process of finalizing mapping and establishing a network of Swahili trainers in Uganda who will assist the ministry to train basic Swahili to business persons to ease their business transactions in Swahili. At this stage, I will also add that we recently had an offer from the government of Zanzibar. They are willing to send as many Swahili teachers as we need to this country. The ministry mobilized resources from Trademark East Africa for a new initiative translated into Swahili, the COVID-19 administrative guidelines for free movement of goods and services in the ESC. We engaged the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to establish the National Kiswahili Council, which will champion Swahili development initiatives at the national level. They have prepared a cabinet paper on this matter, and we shall update you once it has been concluded. The Ministry of Gender is expected to focus on Swahili research, journal, manual publications. It's expected to augment our efforts to translate key East African community documents, such as simplified trade regime and other outreach activities to promote Kiswahili. There is need to enhance ability to communicate in Kiswahili for the business persons engaged in cross-border trade. Last Friday, I was at Mutukula meeting the cross-border traders, and they told me that one of their biggest problems was the inability to communicate while at the border with their colleagues. But this would really enhance intra-regional trade. Promoting Swahili to create opportunities for translators and interpreters of Kiswahili to reduce unemployment. It can be used collectively to promote the ESC as a single tourist destination. You can imagine if a Ugandan were able to speak to anybody in Swahili having arrived in this country. There's need to create a shared sense of identity within the highly diverse linguistic society. We have 56 tribes in Uganda, 42 in Kenya, and more than 120 in the United Republic of Tanzania. Of course, now, if you add Congo, Rwanda, and Burundi, there are very, very many people, and we need a common language. Therefore, Uganda smoothly integrating the EAC, it makes it both necessary and urgent for the country to consider the language playing a central role in the region for our development. We would like to request the following. Government should supply sensitization materials such as flyers and media broadcasts in Kiswahili. I can now inform the House that the Uganda Airlines have been directed to start communicating at least a greeting both in English and Kiswahili. As a start, we want government to support professional translators and interpreters for Kiswahili, provide signed language in Kiswahili for all government entities, support adult literacy teaching programs in Kiswahili, establish Kiswahili focal persons in each district for organizing and overseeing the learning of Kiswahili, carry the use of Kiswahili in offices. The 21st Summit Directive was presented to Cabinet on 4th July 2022 with the following objectives: to update Cabinet on the implementation of the directive, to request Cabinet to approve resources to Parliament of Uganda as a pilot implementation area for the training of Swahili, to request Cabinet to approve funding for the Ministry to coordinate and promote Swahili as an official language in the EAC, and therefore Cabinet noted what was requested and resolved that each member of Cabinet and the PSs must be given 1 year within which they should learn the Swahili language. Two, they directed my ministry to submit a comprehensive plan and budgets for various activities to implement the directive. We, on the funding, we agreed to defer that for the time being until we have completed certain other small work. So the ministry is in the process of engaging a team of Swahili trainers to train Cabinet and PSs. We have begun the process of engaging relevant stakeholders with the view to prepare a comprehensive plan and budget for the various activities to implement this directive. Thank you very much, honourable members.